What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Weekday Wagers, where if you're not watching, you're already behind. I am your host, Daniel Greer, and Marcus joining me very, very shortly. As you can tell, I'm not my friendly confines. We're here on the road a little bit, doing some extra work, but we're doing a little bit extra work for you as well, because if you've been joining us for the past month or so, we are obviously just getting started with this brand of Weekday Wagers, but we want to take a more in-depth look at the information that we're putting out and giving to you, and making sure that what we have that we're showing on the screen is very simple. It's a much more of a deep dive instead of giving you our thoughts on is DK Metcalf going to be a good asset on the field with Aaron Rodgers throwing in the football. Well, let's move off of that. Let's dig in more to the game. So as Mark's joining me right here, we're going to do something, a little segment that we're going to call the Wager Watch List. So the Weekend Wagers Watch List is kind of what I'm going to kind of title that. But the Wager Watch List is very simple. We're going to start looking at games more in depth and trying to see if we can give you a little piece of the pie that's a little bit more about what you could be looking for. So people are already in the chat, and we appreciate that already. If you have a question about the games, we will make sure we stop and take a look back and make sure we dig a little bit deeper into any play or anything that you're looking for. But Joe, I wasn't delegated to. Is it delegated or relegated? I think it's relegated. Relegated would be better. Either way, to the basement. Yeah. I don't think that's
after Friday's. Friday the 13th is real. That's all I've got to say on that. I'll just leave it there. That's no doubt. We should all be in the basement.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Mark. Well, we're going to get into a lot of these games. And so the first game that we have for you all that we're going to look at is the Red Sox and Mariners game, right? And so the Red Sox 37-36, Mariners 36-34. Both within their divisions, they both have a fighting chance. Neither one are first place. But if you look at this Red Sox team, they just traded Rafael Devers, but they're on a 5-game win streak. Seattle, they're on a 3-game win streak, 4-6 over their last 10, though. So they haven't really exactly been playing great baseball. Logan Gilbert returns to the mound after almost 2 months of being gone due to being on the injured list. He last pitched, I think it was April the 25th. It's a long time with an elbow injury. So Logan Gilbert does come back, even though he is electric. But is there anything that you have or you're digging into in this game?
The under, really, I know the line is set at 7, and it's there for very good reason. You look at what Boston has done in their last 5. While they've won their last 5 games, they've hit 7 exactly twice in the last 5. Everything else has been under 2-0, 2-1, 3-1 type games. I think you've got a Boston team that is struggling to produce offensively. They are phenomenal defensively.
Right.
Seattle's not a very big offensive powerhouse either. So the under has me very intrigued in this spot.
Yeah, you can get the under at 7.5 at -130 still. And so if you're looking for a different number, you can get this under 7. I believe it's pretty much -110, right around even money. So depending on how you want to attack this game, completely fine. But this team, honestly, and I know you have some stats here for this Mariners team that we want to look at right here. If you look at these stats and how they go up against, who was it, Giolito? That's what they're going to be. Yeah. Gelato.
Better than Giappetto. You look at this, and the Mariners have not done that poorly against him. And I see this as the Mariners have been tough at home to begin with. They've been one of those teams that have a very high luck factor at home. So given the historical numbers here, I lean towards the Mariners to win this in a very low-scoring game.
All right, so you're saying Seattle good at home. Look, I'm looking on these records. They're 19-17 at home. They're 17-17 on the road. That obviously is 2 games better, but it's not a ton better. But they might be hitting statistically or playing statistically better. They're just still not winning the games. And so depending on how you look at that, make sure you deep dive into this. But We're looking at some good stats going up against Giolito, who is a guy who is boom or bust. Like he has been a complete boom. Like he's been responding in a lot of outings. Really good really good stats putting up, but he's been also a bust where he's given up 6-7 runs in a game very easily. It's just he's not taking the losses, which I was very shocked about. So make sure if you're digging in this game, check out those stats. But we're going to keep on moving on to another game we're looking at. And this is the return of Shohei Ohtani. Showtime is back on the mound. We obviously had some discussion, if you watch Coaching Company, about how many innings he would pitch. I have done the due diligence for you all because I am a kind person. There has not been really a major decision on innings. It has been on pitch count, which I said. So if he does pitch 1 innings, that's fine. But I think he is on a limited pitch count. I think it depends on how those pitches happen. And so I have a little bit more on that in just a second. But he's up against Dylan Cease, who is 2-5, a 4+ ERA. Anything that you like in this game at all?
Actually, I know he's on a strict pitch count, and I get it. You're just coming off that injury. You don't have any rehab starts. You've been thrown in the bullpen, kind of simulating games. There is nothing, and you know this from playing baseball, basketball in your sporting career, there's nothing that you can do to simulate actual game time situations in that pressure. And more importantly, as a pitcher, the torque that you put on your arm when you're trying to get that one strike that you need. So I don't see him going very far. I really don't see him going beyond the first inning. So if you're looking at some unders, I love his under 1.5 total strikeouts. I just think he's not going to have his stuff so finely tuned yet that he's going to be overpowering as a pitcher. I love that. You can get that at -130. Okay. I am all over, though, because he is still going to be in the lineup batting as DH. I am all over his over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. You can get that at -140. Yes, it's a little juicy, but look at this chart. This is what Ohtani's done in his career versus Dylan Cease. He absolutely owns Cease. 17 at bats, 6 hits, 2 singles, a double that missed being a home run by 6 inches. Okay, it hit the yellow border on the wall, and he's got 3 home runs. He absolutely owns Dylan Cease. I love this spot for Ohtani, especially coming off just feeding off the fans as he makes his pitching debut. He is going to be all over Dylan.
Okay, well, let me interest you real quick as I'm going to go back to these 2 gentlemen that we have on the screen. All right, let's first take a look at Dylan Cease. What does he do a lot of? In his last 2 games, he's had 8 walks. He did just face this exact same Dodgers team roughly a week ago. So last week he faced them and he gave up 5 walks. Okay, so let me just interest you in a little bit of a walks ladder. We did this last night. We cashed on the walks ladder. So if you're not following along, go to justthatsports.com. You can use the code BTT30. It gets you your first 30 days free. Coach will pay for them. I will make him. Those are the rules. But Dylan Cease just had 5 walks. Let's go ahead and look at it. 3+ walks is +100. He's done this over his last 2 games, 8+ walks. So let's go against the team that he just gave up 5 to. So 3 is all we're asking, like a little over half. It's let's say 65% for all you nerds out there looking for percentages. Then we're at 4+ walks. It's at
plus my brain.
Yeah, 4+ walks is +255. If you want to go for more than that, I would assume you can find a 5+ walks. That is probably +500, 600. He just did it. I'm not saying that it ends up repeating itself game after game, especially the next game. But there's something going on with Dylan Cease. He's walking a lot of people, and he's very consistent about it against this Dodger team. I think he does it again. But, Mark, that's not the fun one. Let's go to the fun one because I am petty, and I swing the petty machete often. Ohtani, you can get the 2+ strikeouts at +120, or you can go under the 1.5, which is fine. You can get that at -130, like you said. But if you want to have a little fun, 3+ strikeouts is +330. Let's say he does get that second inning and he does get 3 strikeouts. But let's just say, hey, I'm just going to go ahead and play $5 because that's all I have. And I want to have some fun on this. 4+ strikeouts is plus 1,000. So if you're thinking maybe he gets to the second inning and maybe he's on a 40 pitch count limit, all he needs is 4 strikeouts. And at that point, your plus 1,000 cashes if he gets the 4Ks.
Interesting.
Thank you.
That's a nice look, actually. I like that.
I knew it would happen. I knew being relegated to the basement would happen today. All right. So if you're going to play that game, make sure you go ahead and look at all the stuff that we talk about. And we're going to start keep doing this, but we're also going to look at this NBA Finals game because, as you know, I am a hoop head and I try to dig in a little bit more to the NBA. And I want to get your thoughts on the over, the under, the totals and stuff like that on this mark in a second. But if you're looking at these, it's very close in the stats. Just look on the screen. You're 112 to roughly 109, 110. So they're very close within these games. Nobody's blowing each other really away, but the spread is a 9.5. I still think OKC takes care of business tonight at home, but then they go back to a game 6 and model my ass back to a game 6 there in Indiana. But the rebounding is very close and the assists are not close at all. That's what I want to hit on. If you're looking at anything to play, when the Thunder win, they have 21 assists per their team. When they lose, they have 14. That is a 7 assist difference. And so if you see in the game that they're starting to move the ball and they're able to get more assists in, you might want to look at the Thunder because they're a team that when they're moving the ball more and it's not what the Pacers want them to do. The Pacers want them to go one-on-one. If they're moving the ball more with more assists, then that's a game that you can target, whether you want to look on the money line, the spread, or if it's a game just completely where you're looking at player props, which could be live. But anything on the total or anything at all you like about the game 5 of the NBA Finals?
Yeah, I love the first half team total for the Thunder, especially in this game 5. I see them coming out absolutely fired up and going. First of all, the line is at 57.5. They have obliterated this line just about in every single game this postseason.
Nice.
So to have it this low, I would have expected to see. They're averaging 64 points in the first half at home this postseason. So I would have expected to see this line closer to 60, 61. I think it has a ton of value at 57.5. Like the team total, although they tend to, in the second half, especially in this finals, both teams have really clamped down defensively and slowed a lot of things down. So the first half has been more explosive. Second half, not so much. I love that first half look for the Thunder. And to your point, from a player prop standpoint, TJ McConnell and his assist for the Pacers, he comes off the bench and he is the spark that these Pacers need to get the ball moving, get more people involved. And he's been able to do that. I love his points and assist line at 10.5.
Okay. So make sure you go and look at those, especially if you like certain players, but just looking at these games and how you might target them, we try to break it down. So if you have any questions before we get out of here, make sure you go ahead and get them into the chat, whether you're watching on YouTube or whether you're watching over on Twitter or social media. Make sure you go ahead and get those in so we can answer them before we get out of here. But as always, we still have our wagers. And so we're going to give you our plays. And Mark, you're going to go first, sir.
I am actually going to go with the Astros and A's over 10. Look, we've got a perfect storm here in a very hitter-friendly park with the wind blowing out. Lance McCullers Jr. walks in with a 4.9 ERA, a 143 whip, and Athletics are countering with J.P. Sears, who has a 5.0 ERA and a disastrous bullpen behind him at 5.98 for an ERA. Houston has started warming up at the plate. They're scoring about 5 runs per game over their last 3. Oakland's pitching staff, I'd say Oakland, they'll always be Oakland. The homeless Athletics pitching staff is leaking runs from all over the place. Even if Houston ends up doing most of the lifting here, I honestly, with the bullpen for the Athletics, I see us getting well over 10 here. This could easily, a 5-4 game could turn out to a blowout very quickly.
All right, so go ahead and get that in, especially at the friendly park out in Sacramento with those Oakland/Sacramento Athletics. All right, I'm going to go the hardwood, and I'm going to keep it very simple here. Obi Toppin is playing more minutes, and he also is getting more chances to be an X factor, a Swiss Army knife of doing multi things there on the court. And so because of that, I'm going to go with the over 5.5 rebounds. It's at plus 100. If you want to look at this, I think you can look at this with a pairing or a combo line of points, but also rebounds. I don't know about the points. I think they could be either hot or cold if you look at them on a consistent basis. Sometimes he scores, sometimes he doesn't. But what he's doing on a consistent basis is rebounding. The last 2 games, he's hit this. He's had a game of 6 and it's a game of 7 rebounds, averaging his 28 minutes the last 2 games where he's had a bigger role in this on this team. Getting 9 rebound chances, which that means is he's in the vicinity with a chance to get the rebound that is up for grabs. Out of those 9 on each game, he's had either 6 or 7 of those rebounds. Because of that, I think it plus money here, a low number for a guy that's getting the minutes, the opportunity, even in a blowout. In a blowout, he's going to get more time. So just know that he's going to get the minutes and the chances to grab these rebounds. So I'm going to go Obi Toppin over 5.5 rebounds.
Yeah, right. I love that look. The only time he didn't get that rebound line was in game 1 where he only ended up playing 17 minutes.
Yeah. So he's getting the minutes. And so as long as he's getting minutes, he's going to produce. Yep. All right. Well, these shows might go, we talked about early on, they might go the 15 minutes or so. I think we're going to have to move it a little bit. I think 15 to 20 is realistically kind of where we're targeting in a sense, because we want to do the wager watch list and we want to spend more time on giving you a little bit more of a digging in aspect of the games. I think that's what, honestly, you and Robbie are both really good at. I'm just here trying to help as much as I can. But we're going to consistently do our Monday wagers, and then we're always going to do the daily dinger. Monday through Thursday, you're going to get the dinger. But you have 5 guys on here with Shohei Ohtani, Cal Raleigh, Hal Schwarber, Gunnar Henderson, Aaron Judge. Those 5 guys are all guys that you're looking at targeting. Who is one guy that sticks out for you?
Wow. And this is a pure value play alone. I'm going Aaron Judge at plus 375. I don't know when the last time we saw Aaron Judge over 225 to hit a home run. He doesn't have a history against the pitcher. I forget who he's facing today. There's 0 home run history, 0 batting history. But Aaron Judge at plus 375, how do you not take that?
All right, well, he's going against Jose Soriano, who walks the entire ballpark on a consistent basis. That's the only thing that would worry me, is that literally Jose says, Jose, no way, we'll see you down at first base, and just kind of puts him on because maybe Jose's scared. I'm not sure. But Jose Soriano is who's going up against Aaron Judge. I like that opportunity. But I'm going to, listen, the value on plus 375, it's hard to kind of, move away from. So I like your look there. I'm going to go with a guy who isn't completely chalk. It's not Ohtani, but it's Cal Raleigh. So he's going up against our nemesis, the Giolito. And so because he's going up against Giolito, I'm going to go ahead and target him because Cal Raleigh has been a consistent home run hitter. He's swinging the bat, well. And so because of that, going up against Giolito, maybe he sucks just one time and throws me a meatball down the center. Anything else you have on the Daily Dingers, sir?
I like Gunnar Henderson for a nice look there. I gave you all the reasons I love Ohtani. It feels a little sacrilegious to sing his praises about the way he owns Dylan Cease and not pick him. But I love that 375 on Judge. Judges do, and it's hard not to like all those guys going yard tonight.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, maybe we'll par them all together. And then we have a +1 because why not? I think I'm rubbing off on this gentleman because now Robbie is going off the board again. Max Kepler, a +750. Your thoughts, Mark?
Yeah, you guys spend one night in Nashville together, and all of a sudden it's, who are you two? I don't mind that look. I think Kepler's got a decent history, and I like that look. And at +750, how do you not? And if there's anybody who's going to hit one of those at that +750, +600 or higher, Robbie's the guy that will do it.
All right. Well, he is going up against Sandy Alcantara. So Maybe he just gives one up. He's given up 31 walks in 63 innings pitched, 8 home runs over those 63 innings pitched. So maybe Max stays hot here and goes yard again. So that is kind of where Robbie's going to go. But as you know, I would probably tell Robbie and less of me because I have yet to hit a daily dinger. So just being very transparent, I am not the guy you want to. So I have given the kiss of death now to Cal Raleigh. But Joe does have something he wants to talk to you about, Mark. Nice seeing you wear his just got out of prison sweater. What's your thoughts about Joe just in general? Not about the sweater, about Joe.
Joe's fashion sense is all over the place. First, I was wearing a shirt that his girlfriend would make him wear if she wanted to go to church. You know what, Joe? Find Jesus. Now I'm wearing just got out of prison sweater. It's not even a sweater. It's a short sleeve shirt, man. Come on.
Joe. I always got to do my best to pick on Joe. He's one of the OGs here. He's a friend of the show. But yes.
Fun fact, I'll probably end up meeting Joe sometime next week.
Wow. All right. We must have a picture sent in. That's a guarantee.
Depends on the visiting time at the county jail.
True. All right. Well, that's all we have. As always, this is Weekday Wagers. I've said it before, and I'm going to continue to say it. We're going to make sure we keep changing and maneuvering and adjusting just for you to make sure that we're giving you the best possible content. And I think that this is the content that people want, is the more of the in-depth, the knowledge using our Just the Stats Sports information. But go ahead and use the code BTT30 if you want to get your first 30 days free. If you have not joined, you're missing out. We have plays up. The model is always up. So whether you don't have the plays you're looking for, the model is always going to be there. But that's all we have. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us on this Monday. We're going to make sure we have Mark and Robbie will be back there on Tuesday tomorrow. So we'll see you all then right here at Weekday Wagers.